I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Ray. I'm your host, Lan, or Alana, and as you can tell by the title of this week's episode, we're talking hot girl fall, routines, habits, mindsets. You know, I felt like with the first week of school being in the works, whether you just had frosh week or you are going into your second week of high school or whichever, classes have begun if you are a student, and if you are working, like I feel like there's still the fall mindset when it goes to being in the office. Summer hours may be over, things are cooling down temperature wise, and they might be heating up in the office. So we're going to be discussing routines, habits, and mindsets today. And yeah, so I'm really excited. When you're listening to this, I will be in New York for New York Fashion Week. I'm currently recording this before I leave. I'm so excited. Trin and Kaylee are currently talking in the group chat, and I had to actually mute it because I keep getting distracted because I want to chat with all my friends. But so excited for New York Fashion Week. I feel like it's been a full circle moment from when Trin Kales and I decided to spontaneously go on a trip to New York for Fashion Week in February. And that is when we actually met for the first time IRL. Even we barely had spoken before on FaceTime or text or anything before that. So it's really been a full circle moment. Everything has changed so much. I feel like we've grown so much. I feel like I've grown so much. I feel like so many changes have happened. And I'm just really excited to be back together with the girls. I think it's going to be really iconic. And, you know, I just feel really good about Fashion Week. I've been seeing 777 everywhere. And normally I don't see this angel number an insane amount of times. Normally my angel numbers are 444 and 555. But lately I've been seeing 777 and pretty sure it means good fortune. Let's Google this. 777 is oh my God. It's a sign from the universe is with you and supporting you on your spiritual path. Wow. Why can I never speak, guys? It is especially when you may be doubting your chosen path. There's a lot of things written here. It represents a spiritual awakening or inner wisdom. Reclaim your alignment. Reveal key talents and strengths you never knew you had. There's a shorter version on Pinterest I know of. 777. Luck is on your side. You are on the ultimate spiritual path. Keep doing what you're doing. The inner strength. Release all fear. Be strong at heart. Look forward to the future with excitement when you see this number. I have been seeing it so much. So we're just going to keep at it. I'm really excited. I think big things are coming. I'm not thinking too much. I'm just going to let the universe take me to wherever I'm supposed to be. But I have a really good gut feeling. Anyways, let's move into the weekly intention because I know you guys want to hear the bulk of the episode. So my weekly intention is to be present with everything happening and everything being so busy and go, go, go. I just really want to focus on being present because I know if I'm not, it's just going to, 1, pass me by really quickly. 2, I'll probably get really anxious because I already am anxious about everything that we have to do and see and places that we have to be. So just be really present and aware of what's going on in front of me and just be really grateful. And that leads me into the tip of the week as always. And it is to practice mindfulness and gratitude. When you're practicing being present, it's almost like an act of meditation. I was having a conversation. I was at a pre and I was having a conversation about meditation and how there's different perspectives on it and how it can really even just mean taking a moment to think internally and to practice mindfulness and to practice gratitude and be wow, I'm so grateful that I'm here right now, that I'm surrounded by these people, that I'm in this situation, that I've been granted with these opportunities. So just to practice mindfulness and gratitude, and it really allows us to reconnect with ourselves and our present and what is going on in the now, as opposed to looking at the past or to the future. When we look into the past or future, that's when those anxious thoughts come up because anxiety is fear of the unknown or what we can't control. So by practicing mindfulness and gratitude, we can really help control our anxiety. We can really help bring ourselves into a state of calmness and clarity. And this is something I've been practicing a lot more, and I definitely can see a difference and I feel a difference in the way I feel about myself, about what's going on in my life. It definitely helps calm me when I'm feeling overwhelmed. So be present and practice mindfulness and gratitude. My current faves. I'm currently wearing one of my current faves, but 437 sets. They're athleisure sets. They are coming out with new colors for fall. And I'm so grateful that I got sent them because I'm working with them, which is so exciting. But I absolutely love them. I've had Liv's set for the whole summer. Absolutely love that one. It's the matcha green. It's the shorts and the tank. And I now have 3 different colors. I think I'm getting 2 other colors. And they all have different bras. And they're just so soft and flattering. They have the V-cut on the waist. I'm not working with them on the podcast. This is all totally my own opinion. I absolutely adore them. They are launching in September. I believe the first color drops sometime this week when you're listening to this. So definitely go check it out. Check out 437. Love the sets. Also love the aloe sets. I picked a bunch up at the Toronto store when I was there for the opening. And I'm obsessed with the Airlift material. It's by far my favorite material from aloe. Absolutely love it. And I wore it in a HIIT class and it withstood. And I'm so picky about leggings and they held up. I was running, I was squatting, I was jumping. I didn't feel like they were falling down ever. I just remember dancing in high school, and whenever I wore my TNA leggings, obviously these were a lot different back then, but whenever I wore my TNA leggings, they would always fall down, whereas my Lulus would stay up. So Lulu is definitely my cult favorite, my number one, my OG. And I would have to say Aloe and 437 are definitely coming in. They're not as technical, but I definitely still really love them. They're really cute and flattering. So Love my aloe and 437 sets. On my nails, I've decided the ultimate Hailey Bieber glazed donut nails combination is one thin layer of Funny Bunny with white chrome on top. I tried all these different nudes. I tried put it in neutral. I tried like other ones that I honestly don't even remember the colors because the nail artist just would like, or technician would pick it for me. And honestly, nothing hits more than the Funny Bunny. I think it just makes it like so much more cute, and the chrome really picks up more on that. So I really like the Funny Bunny. I find when you do like the nudie pink colors, it makes it more of a champagne versus like Funny Bunny. Obviously, it's more of like a white pink, so it makes it more opaque and like stand out. And I personally prefer it. And then my last two favorites are two food items. So the first one is Siggi's Vanilla Skyr. I'm back on my Greek yogurt skyr yogurt train. I really do love it. I love the vanilla skyr one. I like that it's sweetened with agave as opposed to like cane sugar. It makes me feel a little bit better about it because it is sweetened. Normally I try to stay away from sweetened yogurts because it's just like hefty, and I always add like sweetened things on top of it, and then it's like too sweet for me. But it's just like the perfect level of sweetness, and I've been obsessed with cashew butter lattes. I'm actually drinking one right now. Little ASMR again. I can't remember if I spoke about it last week on the pod. I know I was definitely drinking one, but it's just cashew butter I got from the Roasted Nut here in Toronto. You can use code Alana15, like Alana15 for 15% off on online orders at the Roasted Nut. But it's just their cashew butter, nut milk. I use this YoFit one, which has protein in it. I added collagen, but they don't normally add collagen. I did agave. They normally do maple syrup. I don't have maple syrup. And then I did 2 shots of espresso, then blended in the blender and poured it over ice. And it's so good, and it gets so frothy, and it's just delicious. It's a really good like pick me up before a workout if you want a bit more energy but aren't super hungry, or like as like a little snack sort of situation, because the cashew butter does make it filling. So love that. Okay, let's get into the bulk of the episode. Fall routines, fall habits, mindsets, all of it. How to be a hot girl this fall. So yeah, okay. You guys know I'm the queen of routines, so I feel like I have this down pack. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I feel like I can be your big sis in this moment, and I'm going to share with you all my little insider tips and tricks and how I transition and change my routines or alter my routines to better serve me as the months get colder and as like my routine schedule kind of changes. So you're either going back to school. I know a lot of you are still in high school or university, or maybe you're going back to the office. You're not working remote, or maybe you're going into the office more often now because your office wants you to come into the office more, whatever the reason is. So that means like our routines are changing. We now have to accommodate for time in the morning for a commute, or maybe we like have to like start promptly at 9 or maybe 8, or like, I don't know, maybe your schedule is changing because now you have school. So it's definitely like an adjustment period. You need to do a little bit of trial and error to see what makes you feel your best, what leaves you feeling like the least amount of stress. You don't want to be like super rushed in the mornings or feel super drained at night. What I've really been liking, and I feel like I've spoken about this a bit, is instead of doing only morning workouts or only evening workouts, I really have been liking incorporating a little bit of a morning workout and a night workout. What this means is some days in the week, I will do an early morning workout, whether it be a 6 a.m. class, or I do my own workout around like 7 a.m., 6:45 a.m., or sometimes I will do evening workouts and I'll do an evening workout after work. I'll go to a workout class around like 6:30, maybe 7. And that way, like I don't feel like I get burnt out from my morning routine or my night routine. And it also helps me stay a bit more interested in my routines and motivated, because it's kind of like changing a little bit, which makes it a bit more exciting. But that's what I've been doing. Like, for example, Being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city. And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to HelloFresh.com/50Ray and use code 50Ray for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/50RAE and use code 50Ray, 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray. Today, I am doing Pilates at night. I normally on a Wednesday do 6 a.m. Pilates, but I actually did sleep in past my alarm this morning. So we pivoted, we adjusted, we're agile, and we're doing an evening workout. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a morning workout. So it keeps things light and fun, and figure out what works best for you. Maybe morning workouts are the only thing that works, and that's what's going to work for you. Maybe you do morning workouts, but you only do it 3 days of the week and you have 2 mornings off, and those are your workouts. But just trial and error, what works best for you. Figure out what amount of time you need in the morning. Do you want to have a really short morning? Do you want to have a really long and slow morning where you can take your time and be leisurely, as if you didn't have anywhere to be, your routine didn't have to be super rushed. I personally like to have a super slow morning. I like to still be productive in that morning, and I love when I have that morning sweat or some sort of movement. If I'm not working out in the morning, I do like to still go on a walk or go to the park and sit and journal there. So figure out what works best for you and what's really going to fill your cup up. What are your non-negotiables that you want to put into your routine? What is going to help set you up for success when it comes to going to the office and doing your job, or going to school and sitting in lecture or in class, participating in work projects, going to tutorial. You really want to set yourself up for success with this morning routine. And then the same goes for your night routine. You really want to give yourself enough time to rest and recover. Our days are busy. We're commuting. We are in meetings. We are listening. We are speaking, we are doing work. There's a lot of things going on and we're constantly stimulated. So how are you going to wind down before bed? How are you going to ensure that you get the best possible and highest quality level of sleep possible? How are we going to get those 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night that leave us feeling energized and refreshed in the morning and capable of taking on whatever our day throws at us? Really focus on that. And again, that's going to take some trial and error to figure out what really works for you. Do you want to read for 10 minutes before you go to bed? Do you want to read for 30? Do you want to meditate before bed? Do you want to journal before bed? Really figure out what works for you. If you're having an evening workout, do you want to eat dinner before or after that workout? Do you want to eat dinner before that workout and have a snack afterwards? Really question yourself and kind of just do this trial and error process, and use the first 2 to 4 weeks of this time being back at school, back in the office, or in that fall mode to figure out what you kind of like for this fall season. And again, it might change again in the winter as our days get shorter, or maybe we crave different types of movement and routines. So just do a little trial and error, write it down, journal maybe about how you are feeling about these routines, and take it from there. I know journaling and reflection is super helpful. So just go through that. Okay, habits. I feel habits and routines go hand in hand. But habits can really set you up for success alongside your routines. Your routines are almost like habits. Your habits fall into your routines and your routines fall into your habits. So figure out like what good habits do you want to slowly integrate into your routine. You guys know that I always say you don't want to overwhelm yourself and say you're going to read, you're going to walk 10K steps, you're going to drink 2 liters of water a day all at once, and you feel super overwhelmed. And you end up doing none of it after a week or so. So like slowly incorporate these habits. And if you are living alone for your first time, if you are trying to get back into the swing of things, maybe you were home for the summer, or I don't know, maybe you still are living at home, but you want to create a routine for yourself. What are the habits you want to do, and figure out when you want to practice them. For example, grocery shopping and meal prepping. Decide, okay, what day am I going to dedicate to making my grocery list, planning out like what sort of recipes I want to make throughout the week. You guys know my 2 to 3 recipes for breakfast, my 2 to 3 recipes for lunch and dinner tip. And then figure out when you are going to meal prep those things to make it a little bit easier for yourself. For example, when I was living at home with my parents, we always grocery shopped on a Saturday, and then I would meal prep on a Sunday, or I would meal prep during the night so that my meals would be ready for the next day. So figure out what works best for you and what works seamlessly in your schedule, especially like when we get back to school and we're in the fall. Like you may have extracurriculars that take time throughout your day and like outside of your work and school hours. So like take that into account. And then we want to also be aware of, if we're in school, like when are we going to do our homework? Like when are we going to dedicate time to each subject? If we have a side hustle, when are we going to dedicate time to focus on that and prioritize that? I really love to use time blocking. I learned this from Lauren Everett's on the Skinny Confidential, him and her podcast, but time blocking is incredible. Or you can even, I forgot what I think it still falls under time blocking, but you can dedicate certain days to do certain things, kind of like how I said, like Saturday you can grocery shop, Sunday you meal prep. Maybe Mondays are your day where you answer emails, and maybe Tuesday is your day where, actually scratch the email idea because that's not applicable to everyone, but say Monday is your day you focus on item A. Like say you're in school and that's going to be the day where you focus on your history homework. And then on Tuesdays, we are going to focus on our math homework. And when on those days, we're going to focus on those things for 2 hours at a time, sort of thing. And you put this in your calendar, you color code it, you time block it out, and you'll get into a habit of doing it. And when the more you do it, you'll figure out, okay, do I actually need 2 hours, or do I maybe only need to block off 1 hour for it, sort of thing. So those are habits. I highly recommend using a habit tracker. I have one in my planner. I use the Mind Your Business Planner by Neats on Radar. It's honestly incredible. I really like it. It's worth the splurge. It's cute. It's functional. It does the job, and I love how it has a little journal section for the week to set your goals, and then you can also set little daily goals. You can practice gratitude in there. It's honestly really great. So check that out. That's the Mind Your Business Planner by Neats on Radar. Our last section is mindset. I think going into the fall, there's so many things. I really think it's important to have a mindset and, setting new goals and perspectives and making even a vision board for the fall.
Being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city, And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to hellofresh.com/50ray and use code 50ray for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/50RAE and use code 50ray 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Is always a great way to start. Just going to drink a little coffee. My throat is a little dry. Okay. What is a hot girl mindset? This is what I believe a hot girl mindset is, and this is like what I embody. And you know, these are all things that I personally been working on, and I think they've allowed me to become my best self, my highest self, and to really grow as a person mentally and spiritually and like in all realms of things. But I feel like when we enter the fall, especially if we're going back to school or going back to the office, we feel like we have to say yes and involve ourselves in everything, especially with the pandemic where we were withheld from so many things, especially social things, for so long. We feel this guilt that if we don't say yes, we're missing out on what could be. And what I've learned is that it can be really draining and taxing to you and your energy if you say yes to everything, especially if you say yes to things that don't necessarily serve you. And what I mean when I say they don't serve you is maybe it's something with people who you've outgrown or you're not really aligned with, or it's something you're not really aligned with, or when you leave that situation or that event, you feel really drained as opposed to energized and uplifted. And yes, you can be like physically exhausted, but if you're mentally exhausted every single time you're leaving these things, I think it's important to take a step back and to really evaluate, what is this giving to me? Is it benefiting me in any sort of way by being here? If the answer is no, I think you really have to take into account like what is serving you, like what plans and events and opportunities are really fulfilling you and providing you with that value. It's the same thing how you wouldn't listen to a podcast or continue listening to a podcast or a YouTube video or a TikTok video or anything if it wasn't really benefiting you or providing you like some sort of value or didn't excite you or entertain you, you know? So learn to say yes to what serves you, and also know it is okay to say no. You can say no to things. It's not the biggest deal. You can say no to parties. You don't have to go out all the time. You can go out and you don't have to drink all the time. And it can be like really scary to say no, but it can also be really scary to say yes. But you need to like be aware of what is really worth your time and what is worth putting your time and energy into. So my next thing around mindset is to be open-minded. Now, I'm not saying to close your mind when I'm saying to say yes to only what serves you and that it's okay to say no. You still want to be open-minded to these new experiences, open-minded to opportunities, be open-minded to people who maybe could surprise you. You don't always want to judge a book by its cover. Maybe someone's personality could really click with you, and maybe someone could really teach and show you things, and it could be a really valuable connection or friendship or relationship. So be open-minded, take that spontaneous yes mentality, and practice everything in moderation. So practice saying yes, practice saying no, practice being open-minded. You will be surprised what happens when you have this open-minded approach, and you have this open-minded approach in terms of attracting things that will best serve you. And I really hope this makes sense, But the more you practice it, the easier these decisions and choices will come to you, and the more you will feel fulfilled and like you are growing as an individual. I think a lot of the time we are automatically thinking in this scarcity mindset, whether it be when it comes to diet culture thoughts like working out or surrounding food and body image, or maybe even in opportunities or anything. It's really easy to think in scarcity. I think we're constantly taught to think in scarcity as a society, to fear loss and to fear running out. But the moment you flip that switch and you flip that perspective and you start to think in abundance, you think, oh, I have as much as I want. I'm able to do as much as I want. There is enough for everyone. Stuff like that. I feel like you become so much more positive and optimistic. And I'm not going to say like unrealistic. Like just because you're thinking in abundance doesn't mean you're thinking unrealistically. It just gives yourself an optimistic outlook on everything. And I don't know, I think you'll be surprised at what you start to realize and how you start to view things and what starts to come to you when you think in an open-minded and abundance space. And the last two things, because I do have Pilates soon, so I do have to close off this podcast. I feel like I can talk forever on this, but growth happens when you're uncomfortable. As much as it feels so comfortable to constantly be comfortable, the only way you're going to grow as a person is when you're uncomfortable and when you challenge yourself as an individual by putting yourself in those situations that might scare you a little bit, but you know will be good for you. And lastly, my reminder to you is to be present. The same way how my weekly intention is to be present, I want your mindset to be present. Don't get caught up in those anxious thoughts about the past or future. Don't worry about those what if thoughts. Whenever you see those what if thoughts come up in your brain, put them on a cloud, put them on a leaf, and watch them float away. Really be present and practice mindfulness and gratitude, and you will be shocked at how much it calms you. And you can either do this mentally. If you want to journal it, you can journal it. If you want to not jot it down on your phone, on your notes app, go for it. But really be present and take everything in, because you're only ever going to be in this moment right now, and then you'll never be in this moment again. I hope that this episode was at least a little bit helpful with getting into that hot girl fall mindset, into those routines and habits. I really enjoyed talking about it. If I was younger, like my younger self, I feel like she would have wanted this, like going back into school in the fall, or like just like entering into a new season. So if you like this episode, I would love if you could help by supporting me through rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That's how you can help support the pod. I also always love when I see you guys tagging that you're listening to the pod on Instagram stories, or you're putting it in your little TikToks of like my favorite podcasts or podcasts for falls or hot girl fall or whatever. So I love seeing all the tags. Keep doing it. I love seeing it. I love reposting it. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to chat with you girls again next week. And we're going to have Trin and Kales on. We'll be recording from New York Fashion Week, which will be so exciting. We're going to be doing episodes on all of our podcasts, and we'll chat to you then. Love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.